Hello everyone, I actually have kind of a serious video here, and I want to talk about something political about the Naruto community. Now many of you know there is a controversy going on with the tier list, and the tier list is involving Kankuro, older Kankuro, or Shippuden Kankuro. Shippuden Kankuro could do limited things, but there is one thing or more OP about him than normal characters, is the fact that the air combo. So with this knowledge of him just having the air hitbox, people has been saying he should be A+, while others have been saying he should be at least A. Now, I'm going to talk about the negatives and positives behind this, and I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. This video is just a questionnaire video. Do you believe that he should be A+? Do you believe that he should be A? As well as I have other suggestions I would like to talk about. As in one, why not have PT's Kankuro on B? PT's Kankuro is pretty good character, and especially you know how to use him. He's kind of like a miniature version of Kankuro, just without the air combo. And there's multiple things he could pretty much do, and he should be at least B tier. I personally think he should be B tier. Same with Shio. I think Shio should be B tier as well. I mean, Kankuro does have the tool set that's good about him. His awakening does suck, but his jutsu is pretty good. It's fast, and it has somewhat of a tracking behind it. As well as, he has the fastest dash in the game. He has a force field thing about him, to say. And what I mean by that is, if you play him and you dash, you will get a second hit instead of a first hit. So you will get three immediately instead of one. If you know what I mean by that. If you knew more about game mechanics that I just learned. Like right there. I knocked down his puppet by dashing. Not other puppets can do that. As well as jutsu is pretty quick. He's just a really fast character in general. He has a good ground combo. His hitbox is pretty good. And his double dash, like I said, he has the fastest dash in the game. And it knocks out other puppets and blah blah blah. As well as his combo, his neutral combo, the second hit after he starts not dashing, but charging at you in his normal combo, or neutral combo, if you were to switch in the second hit, you would have enough time, like you have enough knockback to do an ultimate or a team ultimate. As well as he does have two, not infinites, but UJ cancels. And he used to have a infinite air combo, believe it or not, before pre-patch. Shio is just like a second miniature version of older Kankuro, but with that Shuriken follow, could do a lot more tricks. And her ground combo, yeah, she does have that back lag to it, to the hitbox where you can't really do anything, like a terrible hitbox. But that up combo is still pretty good. Her awakening is the best puppet awakening. Her dash is pretty neutral speed, so you can use that in your advantage, of course. She does have two puppets, just like Kankuro, so you can kind of have a bigger hitbox, or not a bigger hitbox, but a bigger wall, if you know what I mean. As well as her air combo does get off easily, but if you're tricky with it, you can do a lot with it. And her switch tech potential is amazing. The switch tech you could do with Shio is amazing, especially after you learn the Shuriken follow. And if I was good at switch tech, I definitely would do it more with Shio, and I would main Shio 24/7. But because I'm not really good with switch tech, I don't. And her tilt is actually pretty good. There's a stun lock, and there's a stun lock in her combos as well. And PT's Kankuro actually has a stun lock as well. And PT's Kankuro hitbox is just fucking amazing. His tilt is a good track. His ultimate could be pretty good. What am I kidding? His ultimate sucks. But his Shuriken bomb and his grab, yeah, it sucks. But with a cover fire, it can be pretty good. And his jutsu hits on the ground. So, and it does quite a bit of damage. It does about a combo damage. So it's a pretty good investment. And I think Shio and PT's Kankuro should be B tier. Now, my opinion on older Kankuro on A tier or A+ tier, I personally think he should be A tier. Just because he is a puppet is what limits him. if he didn't have, like, if it was like Storm 3 puppets plus Kankuro puppets, like where you could pick up your puppet no matter what, or at least pick up your puppet after a ninja dash, I would definitely agree he should be A+. But because the fact that you barely can pick up your puppet, only certain times you can pick up your puppet, yeah. Yeah, but we're going to talk about that on the A and plus, the negative and the positives with older Kankuro, and why I personally think he should be A, about high to mid tier A, not A+. So that, let's go on with my opinion on, not my opinion, but the whole negatives and the whole positives of older Kankuro or Shippuden Kankuro. So the negatives with older Kankuro is he's a puppet. That means he's limited to do stuff. His awakening isn't really that good. His dash, yeah, he has a double dash, but you can't really bait that. What I mean by that is, with a double dash, you can easily counter it. If you see the double dash coming, you can easily counter it. Even if you were a charge dash, you can easily, like right there, I had to charge dash, and with puppets, you have to get used to charge dashing, which, by the way, that leaves you vulnerable as an old crap. And his awakening isn't really that good. His ground combo is pretty shit. It's not like PTS Kankuro's where it just hits automatically. It's not like Shio's where it's pretty actually good. I mean, Shio's is still pretty decent. Sorceries is garbage. And literally everything in this game knocks down a puppet. Every single thing. It's not like a Storm 3 or Generations and all that where you can just ninja dash and pick up your puppet, or Shuriken glitch where you can pick up your puppet. It's not like Rev where they had a good hitbox, they had infinites, and you could pick up your puppet still and Rev automatically. It's Storm 4. You can't do that. And Storm 4, it's just, he just doesn't have too much materials to be A+, just because all the negatives of the fact that you can really easily knock down the puppet. You can easily break his guard. I mean, his guard is so breakable. I mean, yeah, he has a, we're going to go with the positive in the next one. We're going to go with the positive in the next one. But you can't really match with him. You can switch tech with him. Again, we're going to go with the positives on that. But that's the only way you really can utilize older Kankuro and make him really god tier, or even close to A tier or S tier, is you have to switch tech with Kankuro. Because when your puppet's knocked down, you can't do anything with a fight. The only puppet that can still harm you without a puppet is Shio. And her tilt is not the greatest. I mean, her tilt is about B tier tilt, but it's not the greatest. And that's like the main thing about that, is just how much you can knock down a puppet and how much experience you need to have as a puppet master to be good with Kankuro. You have to have so much experience. It will take you at least, it took Dill about 3 months to get good with Kankuro. And it took Playco about 2 months to get really good with Kankuro. My student is getting good with puppets, and he's not a top player, and it's taken him 2 months. But top players have it easier because they understand the game more, and they could do a lot more with it. Unlike beginners that can't just do that. As well as his ultimate doesn't grew the greatest damage. His damage is actually pretty sad to say. His jutsu, his jutsu is decent. The only good thing about his jutsu is being hit on the ground. That's really it. That's the only thing good about his jutsu. His tilt is straightforward. And that being said, you can easily just dodge out of it, or you can counter it to knock down the puppet, and you can't pick up the puppet after you do that. You can't pick up a puppet after a tilt, by the way. Only in a combo or air combo is the only time you can pick up your puppet after a counter. You can't pick it up on a naked counter. You can't do any of that. So, Yeah, that's the main issue right there, is just the fact that literally puppets in this game have such a major weakness compared to normal characters. With normal characters, they're like, well, I can do this and I don't have to worry about casualties. Well, with puppets, at least especially with Odo Kankuro, because how much frame lag he does have in his air combos. His air combos does give him frame lag. And that is the problem in many reasons, because of the frame lag, you can easily be vulnerable. So when you don't have chakra, you're very vulnerable with Kankuro, and it's easy to waste chakra with Kankuro. It is so easy. You're gonna do it majority of the time. Like you're gonna have problems with chakra conversation. If you're not good at it, then you can't use Kankuro, because Kankuro, he needs that chakra. That's the most important thing about Kankuro, is chakra. And I'm talking about both Kankuros, not only just PTS or older. They both need chakra, and that's another reason, if you don't have good chakra conversation or good chakra control, you cannot be a puppet master in general, especially with Kankuros. Shio or you can't just be a good puppet master in general if you don't have good chakra control, and if you don't have tricks up your sleeve, and you have to learn tricks through experience of time. And older Kankuro is all about experience and time, and that could be a negative, but that could also be a positive, because you learn a lot more and you appreciate a lot more. That'd be the positive. But the negative on this one is that you need time to get good with him. You don't have, like a normal character, it's like, okay, I only need about a week, and then I'll be good with him. No, you're going to need like about 2 months. 2 months to get good with a puppet master in general, especially older Kankuro. It'll take you about 2 months. Other puppets will maybe take you about 3 or 4 months to get good with, unless you're just a natural puppet user. And that being said, with that time consuming, with his hitbox being crap, his tilt not being the greatest, but we're going to talk about the positives in the next part, his grab being one-sided and being very slow can easily be predictable once you get used of it. But I mean, even once you get used of it, like once you just see it, you can just move out of the way and boom, it's done. Like that's the thing with Kankuro, is you can just move out of the way and that's it. He can't do anything about it. So, and then with the double dash, you can counter, like you can literally counter puppets in this game, or knock down puppets so easily in this game, there's nothing you can do about it. So with those are pretty much negatives, because like I said, it is harder to use him. His awakening is trash. Everything basically about him is trash because he's a puppet, but there are some goods. There are some positives, and there are, you know, like I said, there are some positives. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible, and that's what we're gonna talk about in the next part, is the positives he has. So the positives he has basically only really 2 positives about him, and if you want to consider the double dashing and all that, well, yeah. We're talking about the Kankuro, like, I'm talking about Kankuro, what he could do individually, because I'm not going to talk about what puppets can do. I'm talking about what he can do. Because if you're going to go on that logic, then that means all puppets should be at least A tier or on the tier list. If you're going to go on what all puppets can do. So that being said, older Kankuro has a really good air combo hitbox. Like, it is amazing. It gets pressure off of you. It gets rid of... it helps you get rid of... Like, not rid of, but helps you get over jutsus. You have an infinite with his air combo. That infinite right there is the main reason, in my opinion, that he should be... Not my opinion, but the main reason why he's probably top is because that infinite and the air combo. His pressure is amazing at what he can do, as well as the pressuring is just amazing what he can do. And plus the mechanics that he has, as in the dashing with the air and just keep going after that, is really good. The infinite helps a lot because that infinite, guess what? You could just switch and then do a team ultimate in the middle of the air in the infinite. And if they throw a shuriken, that won't hit them. That doesn't matter. I don't know why people say we could throw a shuriken. I mean, people try to throw shuriken at me 24/7, and it has never failed me. His shuriken bombs are amazing. Those poison bombs are amazing. They hit with a long range. They hit multiple times at times. They help get rid of pressure as well as the air combo. They take little to no chakra. Just by poisoning them too, they lose a little bit of health, and they could do big damage in this game. And getting big damage in this game is pretty big. Also for the fact that his tilt, like I said, his tilt is a negative and positive. Same with his grab. His tilt is really good. It has a good hitbox. It is a pretty damn good hitbox, pretty big hitbox. And it goes through a lot of things, too. Like switch tech and all that. His ultimate is not good at all. His awakening is still not good. I mean, if you want to switch tech with his ultimate, that's actually pretty good. Because what you could do is, if you're using pain support, what you could do is do a fire the searing flames, do a jutsu switch, do the missiles, and do all your pain shenanigans. Whatever pain shenanigans you guys do, or whatever your playstyle is, that's on you. But you see right there, the shuriken bombs just go multiple ways, and it's just beautiful. Like I said, it helps with pressuring, it helps with being tricky as well. It poisons them for little no chakra, and it's just really good at what he could do with that. As well as his jutsu, the only good thing about his jutsu is it hits on the ground. And that's pretty good after they get hit, and then you can move your puppet up and do a jutsu afterwards. And you could do the jutsu after an air combo if they don't move away. You could do a jutsu afterwards and finish off the game. And when I said about the infinite in the air, like I said, you can just move out of the side, do a team ultimate, or you can switch and do an ultimate. And it's pretty damn good. And if you learn how to switch tech with puppets, especially with older Kankuro or Shio, I'm considering you got in this game. Because literally, it's so hard to beat people who know how to switch tech with puppets, because Kankuro has 2 puppets, so it's kind of already hard to get through him. But when you implement switch tech with it, you literally are safe pretty much no matter what. You literally can do whatever you want and not worry about much. But because you are still a puppet, you still have to worry about certain things, and you mainly want to stay on the puppet instead of switch tech, just because switch teching it's pretty good with puppets, not denying that, and I just said it's really good, but you still want to stay on your puppet more because that is your main offense. Your switch tech is just a way to be safe. That's why you want to do that. And depending on what support, I mean, that doesn't matter. What matters is your playstyle with your supports. Honestly, you can have like the worst fucking supports and still be good with puppets, especially Kankuro. Because of that, if you master Kankuro, you're pretty much good and set with puppets. And you know, if you know how to master Kankuro, I teach my students older Kankuro first more than any other puppet, because he, in my opinion, is the easiest puppet to learn. As well as once you master Kankuro and master all the puppet basics, you can pretty much go on to the next puppet, and then the next puppet, and the next puppet, and then implement your style and which one you like the most with it. And that's what I do with my students, is I teach them older Kankuro first in this game, because this is easier, as well as older Kankuro, in my opinion, is the best puppet master. And he could just do so much that the other puppets cannot do, and is a good way for beginners to learn puppets. In my opinion, is to learn older Kankuro first, and then go on to the next puppet, to the next puppet, to the next puppet. As well as, if you learn older Kankuro first, it teaches you how to better conserve your chakra, as well as it just gives you a much more appreciation of puppets, because again, they're not really easy to learn. They take months of practice, And especially against like top players, they take a while to practice. But if you are dedicated enough, you will get good. And once you learn how to switch tech with puppets, you're pretty much considered a top player right there. Because that shit is not easy to do. Because, like I said, it's the easier way to be safe, but it's still not easy to do. Just because you're switch teching with puppets, and puppets are easily knocked down in this game. So with the switch tech, you can easily... Fuck. I had a script too, and I lost my script. I was doing this video because I was in the middle of eating. Because with switch tech, like I said, your puppets is still easily knocked down, but you can't do as much performance as with a normal character than you can with other puppets. I mean, with puppets. So, like, if I wanted to do a combo and then switch to puppets, it would just stop the combo because puppets cannot immediately press circle like they used to. But, like I said, there are a lot of weaknesses, but there's also a lot of positives. So there's pro and cons of it. And that being said, what do you guys think? Should he be A tier or A plus tier? Do you think Kankuro and Shio should be B tier? Or do you think they should be higher? Or do you think they should be on the list at all? I am the Jester Gambler. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will love to see your opinions.